Hello, viewers. Good evening. Welcome to HW News English. I am Shubham Chauhan. We are coming to you live with this breaking news right now. The Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal has been arrested by the Enforcement Directorate. Remember, there's a lot of action that's been going around in the national capital. Just a few hours back, we had a team of Enforcement Directorate officials reaching the residence of Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal. This is regarding the Delhi liquor scam policy case. Some officials, as per media reports, said that they had come there to serve a summons to the Delhi Chief Minister, and they'd also come with a search warrant, apparently, in connection with this case. Now, a couple of hours into the search, we have Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal being arrested. He's now expected to be taken to the ED headquarters for further questioning. I have with me HW News Managing Editor Mr. Sujit Nair. Sujit, a couple of points to talk to. We were supposed to start this discussion with electoral bonds, which we'll come to in a moment. But first, the big breaking news: Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal arrested after skipping eight summons, and today we have an ED team reaching his house. Your first reaction to this?
My first reaction is, this was expected, so this is nothing new. It is not shocking. It is not, something that was not expected. The fact that Arvind Kejriwal has been missing summons and has not been attending and not been going to whenever he was called, this was expected. And the fact that I think even everybody in AAP also expected this to happen. So, yes, it was something which was quite expected, Shubham. Nothing
Right.
new about it. Yeah.
So in fact, there are some visuals coming in of top Aam Aadmi Party leaders, including Saurabh Bhardwaj and Atishi Marlena, who reached around the area of the Chief Minister's residence the moment the ED team came in. There is some AAP cadre as well on the streets of Mumbai, based on what we are picking up from visuals on ground. Now, like Sujit said, this was something in the making for quite some time. Just to give you some context quickly, Arvind Kejriwal's name has been linked in the Delhi liquor scam policy case. This is basically an alleged scandal that took place when the AAP government rolled out their new liquor policy, which basically brought in private players and private companies. Now, it was in this case that now Delhi Chief Minister has been arrested. Previously, Delhi Deputy Chief Minister Manish Sisodia, he was also jailed for this very case. Now, ED officials say they have prima facie evidence. They said this in the past as well, that they have prima facie evidence of some sort of money laundering angle to this. And now what we are seeing that Arvind Kejriwal, remember that there were summons that were given to him in the past regarding this case and another case which involved the Delhi Jal Board. The Delhi Chief Minister and the Aam Aadmi Party categorically said that these were politically motivated, and hence the Chief Minister of Delhi wouldn't be sort of appearing. In fact, just today, this evening, hours before the ED team reached Arvind Kejriwal's residence, the Delhi High Court had refused to grant protection from coercive action in this alleged money laundering case to Arvind Kejriwal. And the moment Arvind Kejriwal got this setback from the court, it was almost hours after that the ED team reached. Now, before we move on to the other subject, which is electoral bonds, Sujit, I'll get a couple of remarks from you on what does this mean politically, because let's not forget this comes right ahead of critical election time. Elections, the first phase starts from the 19th of April. We're almost a month away. How do you see this playing out for the Aam Aadmi Party and the opposition at large? Because given the fact that Arvind Kejriwal is not the only opposition leader to go behind bars, we've seen Jharkhand Chief Minister Hemant Soren, in fact, Aam Aadmi Party close confidants of Arvind Kejriwal also being with Sanjay Singh, with Manish Sisodia. How do you see this playing out politically with elections just around the corner?
See, Shubham, can I tell you two things? Primarily, the fact that if you ask me politically, is it going to affect Aam Aadmi Party? Of course, it's going to affect Aam Aadmi Party, because it's going to directly affect the campaign of Aam Aadmi Party. Because Aam Aadmi Party now is left with nobody who can draw crowd. See, end of the day, a political campaign is about a leader who can draw crowd. So people who could draw crowd from Aam Aadmi Party, which is number one, was Arvind Kejriwal. Till Arvind Kejriwal was there, it was like that sheet anchor batting till the Arvind Kejriwal was there in the crease, Aam Aadmi Party was relevant and could have drawn crowd, could have put up its message, could have spoken about Sisodia and others being in jail, could have played the victim card, got the advantage of playing the victim card, and so on and so forth. Could have got advantage for that sympathy vote and all, which they could have got. So to that extent, it is going to have definite effect on Aam Aadmi Party's campaign. But let me also tell you, Aam Aadmi Party supporters who are hardcore Aam Aadmi Party supporters on ground, they are going to go and vote for Aam Aadmi Party with a vengeance. You see, they are now going to cancel every other appointment and ensure that they go and vote for Aam Aadmi Party. So a lot of people are going to come out on ground to vote for Aam Aadmi Party. That is the advantage. Now the disadvantage is, when I say there will be a problem, you see, 10 days before the elections, 10 days to 15 days before the election, some psephologists say 1 week, some say 10, some say 15. But crucially, that crucial time before the election, those fence sitters who have not yet made up their mind as to where to vote, who to vote, those fence sitters will be the one that swing. So those fence sitters are what these leaders go out there and they do their rallies and then draw these fence sitters, then convince them, and that's how that swing happens. That definitely disadvantage Arvind Kejriwal is going to have. So that's point number one. That's what this arrest is all about, as far as politically speaking, as far as elections are concerned. My apologies. Now the second thing is, you say, how fair is this? Well, technically speaking, if a person has committed a crime, or if this person is accused of committing a crime, then he has to be interrogated. So fair enough. Okay. Now, how fair is it to arrest a person who is a sitting chief minister of a state and interrogate without any conviction? Yeah, that too fair, because only after interrogation only can you find out whether he has done something, whether we can only make a charge sheet after interrogation. To that extent, fine. The question, Shubham, is why is it that only opposition leaders, every chief minister's name that you've mentioned, or leader's name that you've mentioned, all of them are opposition leaders. All of them, be it Kavita, be it Hemant Soren, be it Arvind Kejriwal, be it Sisodia, be it any and every leader who has been arrested has been opposition leader. Number one. Isn't that strange? Isn't that not sounding right? Number one. Number two is, when these people come out, for instance, when a lot of these leaders come out, they either align with Bharatiya Janata Party or join Bharatiya Janata Party. How fair is that? So the question is, what the sad part of the story is the use of central agencies, because that's how it looks. The point is, nobody denies, and one should not deny, that whoever you are, whether you are a journalist or whether you are a chief minister or whether you are a prime minister, nobody should be beyond or above law. That there is no question about it. So you have to be interrogated, you have to be arrested, you have to be arrested. But the point is, the question is, how come it's only the opposition, and how come most of these arrests turn into advantage Bharatiya Janata Party later on when it comes to election? How does that happen? And how fair is that? That's the question that I would like to raise tonight, and that's what the only sad part of this complete situation is.
Right. Just to get our viewers up to speed with the development, it's been quite a newsy day right from the morning. There's the Congress party that held a press conference saying our bank accounts are apparently frozen. We can't access funds. There's a lot of happenings in the Supreme Court. By evening, you have data on electoral bonds, full data, complete data on electoral bonds come out. And now, to sort of cap the day, we have Arvind Kejriwal being arrested. Important update coming in. Atishi Marlena from the Aam Aadmi Party has said that Arvind Kejriwal will continue as the chief minister of Delhi from jail. Now, Arvind Kejriwal doesn't hold any portfolio except for chief minister. This is a political decision that the Aam Aadmi Party has made, what we are picking up now, is Atishi Marlena has said that Arvind Kejriwal will continue as Chief Minister of Delhi. He will run the government from jail. He's the second opposition leader, like Sujit pointed out, another opposition leader going behind bars. The second opposition leader go behind, second chief minister rather, in 2 months time to go behind bars. In the case of Jharkhand, where Hemant Soren, just before he was arrested, he quit as chief minister, and someone else from the party, Champai Soren, in fact, took over as the chief minister of Jharkhand. As of now, sorry, go ahead.
Shubham,
Go ahead.
may I just add one more point? You see,
Sure,
the fact remains that look at how unfortunate this is. You know, in all of this, who suffers? The people of Delhi suffers. Why? Because their chief minister is operating from jail. How fair is that? How fair is that? Finally, what decisions do you think he's going to take in jail? You think he's sitting there in jail in an armchair and he will be given a television and a computer and this thing to work? Is that how it's going to be? He'll be interrogated. He'll be possibly interrogated for 11 hours, 12 hours. Do you think they're going to allow him to take decisions? You see, it is decision of a state. There are crores of people involved here. And the fact is, he is going to function from jail. How unfortunate is that? You see, in all of this, the final victim, more than anybody, is the people of that state. That people elected that leader for that state, and this is what is the point I just wanted to make, Shubham.
Right. Shubham. We have some comments coming in from the audience as well. Anand Chaudhary is saying that Kejriwal arrested, BJP is stooping to its lowest. Entra says this is disgusting behavior from the BJP. Remember, this is something that the Aam Aadmi Party has also pointed out, that agencies like the ED is working at the behest of the Bharatiya Janata Party, and to sort of prove their point, they've put a series of opposition leaders we've seen in the last couple of years being called in for questioning, later being arrested. Some of them managed to come out. Some, like Manish Sisodia, Sanjay Singh, are still behind bars. And now Arvind Kejriwal joins that long list of opposition leaders, which even Sujit touched upon, as to how opposition leaders, one after the other, are going behind bars. In fact, when the ED had reached Arvind Kejriwal's residence, there were reports that Arvind Kejriwal's legal team has moved to the Supreme Court immediately seeking relief. But again, there's another update that's coming in. The Supreme Court has declined to hear this matter tonight, which means this matter, the Supreme Court has apparently said that this will come up for hearing tomorrow. So no relief for Arvind Kejriwal tonight. The ED has officially arrested Delhi Chief Minister and Aam Aadmi Party convener Arvind Kejriwal in the alleged Delhi excise policy money laundering case. So we'll leave it at that. We at HW News English, we will keep tracking each and every development coming in this subject. Sujit, I'll quickly move on to the next topic, which was electoral bonds. In fact, before I move on to this, a lot of people pointed out the chronology or the coincidence that data on electoral bonds comes out, the full data comes out, and immediately minutes after that, almost all mainstream media headlines, everything is diverted towards ED team reaching Arvind Kejriwal. But like we've been doing this past couple of weeks here at HW News English, we've been tracking electoral bonds closely. Today, what has come out are two files. The Election Commission of India put out two files which it got from the SBI as is. This reveals the critical unique identification code. Remember, the last time around when the Election Commission of India put out such a data, they had put out two sheets. First was the list of purchases of these electoral bonds. So serial number, company name, date of purchase, and the denominations they've made. In the second list, they had put the political parties which have encashed, on which date did they encash, and what was the denomination. Now, what was critical to note at that point was there was no link or no sort of concrete evidence to which could link the donor and the political party. Today, that has been sorted out. The SBI has handed over this unique identification code, which is attached to every single electoral bond that is purchased by a donor, then encashed. Through this critical unique ID code, we could basically draw a link between who the exact buyer was and which political party was the exact beneficiary. Again, like I said, like last time around, this is a huge chunk of data that has sort of come out in the open. We at HW News English are going through this data minutely to now that we have the entire data out in the open in terms of what the Supreme Court had asked for. That in itself has been a churn itself, which we'll again come to in a moment. But first, some of the preliminary findings that are coming out from some media reports and a little bit of tallying that we've been able to do. Quick Supply Chain. This company was the third largest donor of electoral bonds. They gave more than 475 crore rupees. This Reliance linked Quick Supply Chain gave at least 375 crore rupees out of 410 crores to the Bharatiya Janata Party. This data is over a period of 2 years between what Quick Supply on the date it purchased these bonds and when the Bharatiya Janata Party encashed these bonds. Remember, like I said, the unique ID code is the highlight here. That code single-handedly makes the link between the buyer and the political party which has benefited from this. So Reliance linked Quick Supply, which is the third largest donor, has given 375 crores out of nearly 410 crores to the Bharatiya Janata Party. Just to put it out on record, a Reliance spokesperson has reportedly told a news outlet that there are no links, direct links with the companies that has been ruled out. But what has come out in public domain is that one of the directors by the name of Tapas Mitra, he is the director of Reliance Oil and Petroleum and several other Reliance companies, and over 50% stake in Quick Supply Chain is held by certain Reliance companies. Sujit, I'll quickly get you onto this. Quick Supply Chain is now the sort of one of the premium companies that was sort of looked at, a little known company. It's not a mainstream company that everybody knew about, but a little known company with links to Reliance has given 375 crore rupees to the BJP. The Shiv Sena and NCP got the remaining part of the money, which is 35 crores roughly. Shiv Sena got 25 crores and the NCP got 10 crores. Now, Suri, do you think now the cat is out of the bag? Everybody knows everything as far as electoral bonds is concerned. Now, this was the unique ID was the only thing that was pending, which linked the buyer and the donor. Where do you see this at the moment?
See, I'll tell you, two things. The first is, of course, I want to reiterate the fact that Reliance has made categorical that it has no links with this particular company. So that is one thing which you rightly said. They have made it categorical. But tell me, why do you think a corporate, a business gives 1,300 crores? Why do you think they give this kind of money to political parties? I mean, what rocket science are we talking about? What is the discussion in this entire topic? There is no discussion. They don't give because they want to strengthen democracy. That's not why a particular political party is funded. Okay, that's a particular political party is funded by corporate, not because they see that particular political party as a messiah of India and that particular political party changing the life, their life for them. All that is not the reason. The reason is this is at some level. As a common man, one would say at some level this is quid pro quo. I either want you to protect me, I either want you to give me business, or I want to ensure that you are friendly to me so that I have nothing to worry in the country. I can operate very peacefully. This is what the point is. Now, this could be state governments where you fund the state government parties, or it is the central government where you fund Bharatiya Janata Party. Obviously, central governments loom large. Bharatiya Janata Party has largest stake today in the country. So obviously, the money, a lot of it is going to Bharatiya Janata Party. That's number one. Is it sad? Very sad. 8,000 crores, 8,000 odd crores is what is estimated to have gone to Bharatiya Janata Party, if I am not mistaken. Now, 8,000 crores as donation to a particular party, what do you think that party is going to do with that kind of money? Same is the case with Congress and same is the case with all other parties. See, there is certain amount of money that a party requires to survive, which is understood. There is a certain amount of money that the party requires to campaign, to win elections, to fight elections. Understood. But obnoxious kind of money like 8,000 crores and 10,000 crores, what do you think that party is going to do with this kind of money? What do you think that party is going to do? Invest in something, expand, put up new machineries, put up new factories, put up new offices? What do you think that party is going to do? That party is going to then convert this entire process of democracy into buying and selling. That is what that party is going to do. That party will put that money to make itself more and more powerful. And what happens is that party becomes more and more powerful. Every time an individual and a party becomes powerful, democracy weakens. So every time so this kind of money goes to a political party, it is basically directly or indirectly killing the democracy. That's my point number one. My point number two, before I give the mic back to you, Shubham, tell me, this entire thing about is this going to be a big issue? Why is it not going to be a big issue? This is as bad as 2G, isn't it? This is as bad as coal scam, isn't it? Why is it not becoming a big issue? It is not becoming a big issue because end of the day, every second party is involved in this. See, whether you take 1,000 crores, whether you take 100 crores or 20 crores, have you taken money from a company which is tainted? Have you taken money from a company that doesn't have profit, its own profits to kind of give you this kind of money? Have you taken money from company which is absolutely, from nowhere comes and pays 35 crores, 40 crores? Like I said yesterday, 6-month-old company, 8-month-old company, 1-year-old company giving 35 crores, 5 crores to political parties as donation. When you are starting a company, you take 3 years, 4 years to set up a company. A 10-year-old company coming and giving money, that's fine. I mean, one can understand. 5-month-old company giving 35 crores and 40 crores to political parties. Do you think it is justified? So end of the day, see which political party can actually go and stand on the streets, except for the Communist Party, by the way. Let me also tell you, its Communist Party has not taken money. They refuse to take money from the electoral bonds. So possibly they are the only political party today who can stand out there and talk about electoral bonds and criticize other parties for taking money for electoral bonds. But then Communist Party doesn't have that clout in India. So the point is, who are we talking about and which party is going to take this issue up? Otherwise, electoral bond is as big as 2G scam. It's as big as if you actually dwell into it, if you actually investigate into it, if actually the media was free, if actually you had the Arnab Goswamis who used to sit and shout at 9 o'clock those days, if you had that kind of channels coming and talking, or we as digital channels, all of us, a lot of digital channels are coming together to investigate this case because our infrastructure is very limited. But the fact is, if you actually drill into this case, if you actually investigate this case, then this is as big as any other scam that India saw. And that's what we're talking about, Shubham.
Right. I'll quickly take our viewers, before we wind up this discussion, I'll quickly take our viewers through the chronology of this case, which is in February, Supreme Court struck down this scheme. They said this is unconstitutional. It is going against the citizens' right to know. It's integral that people know who funds political parties. So it started there, and it gave around 3 weeks to the State Bank of India time to give all details related to electoral bonds to the Election Commission, and within a few days the Election Commission had to make it public. Now at the 11th hour, the SBI went to Supreme Court saying that we need time till June 30th, and I'll put a link to the live shows that we had done when this thing happened, and the shows that we have done. The SBI said we need time till June 30th. Matter came back to the Supreme Court. It said nothing doing. You have to give all details as is in the next couple of days. The SBI rather gave this this data to Election Commission. Election Commission put it out. That day itself, we did a live sort of going through the biggest takeaways of what are the companies, who are the companies that have donated, and which are the political parties that have benefited. Now, after that, the interesting part that Prashant Bhushan, who was fighting this case in the Supreme Court, also pointed out that this unique ID code wasn't disclosed by the SBI because that code is relevant in terms of linking the donor and the buyer. The Supreme Court then said, It told, in fact, it pulled up the SBI and it said that very categorically in that judgment they had stated that all details have to be given. The SBI then followed that and gave that unique ID code to the Election Commission, which has now today put it out in front of everybody. Now there are lots of stories that will be coming out in the coming days. We here at HW News English will be tracking to sort of get you all of this. Sure, Sachit, go ahead. Go ahead.
So sorry, Shubham, I'm digressing because I want to answer this gentleman, James Wangal. Can you read his question? He
James Wangan.
says, yeah, he says that listen, Sujit is confused, which is I'm confused, which I'm sure I am always. But what he's saying is not correct. And I want to kind of stop at this question. I want to answer this question because this is the kind of misinformation that is spread, about things. You see, in a state, every decision is under the order of the chief minister. You see, there is no other minister. There is no home minister who can sign and transfer police officers. There is no finance minister who can sign and pass budgets. Every signature in a state, every decision in a state has to come from the chief minister's office. If Mr. Wangal thinks that a state can run without chief minister, I think he's mistaken, because finally decisions come from chief minister's table. Bureaucrats can run a state. Bureaucrats can definitely run a state, but the fact remains that if you have to run a state effectively, if you have to talk about development of a state, if you have to talk about investment in a state, you need to talk about investment for getting jobs for people of that state, it has to be chief minister. So if Mr. Wangal thinks that chief minister just comes just to attend cabinet meetings, then I think he has a different understanding of administration and the way the government functions. Just wanted to point that out, Shubham. Thanks.
Right.
That's all. That's all I wanted to say.
Like we were talking about electoral bonds, the data is out. We are at HW News English. We'll be bringing you detailed reports, because like I've mentioned in the past as well, the data that's been put out is humongous. More than 700, 800 pages of documents. Quite a task for us journalists to sort of skim through and come out with various angles and what are the possible links. Like Sujit mentioned, there are charges. One of the biggest problems with the electoral bonds has been how opaque it is and how it could lead to quid pro quo. Quid pro quo is basically I give you money, then you sort of help me in whatever I need, or protect me from the powers that be. So we will end it at that. If you're just joining us now, I know a lot of people have a lot of comments who have put in their remarks. I'll quickly go through them. Looks like BJP wants to project itself as if its party members are beyond high, pure, holy, incorrupt, and whereas the opposition party members are low winners and corrupt. This is a comment by Lordu Mary. In fact, this is the point Sujit also made, that the interesting part is all the opposition leaders, the picture that's coming out is all opposition leaders are corrupt. They are behind bars. Everybody in the BJP, or it's whoever is with them, is all squeaky clean with no charges. BJP looted money and weakened Indian image. This is Palani Velu. Perumal says similar approach should be done for PM Cares Fund. It is name of PM collected but not disclosing to public, though money is collected from the people. And if you're just joining us right now, we will wind up this discussion with the... Sujit, you have another comment?
Yeah, I have another comment which I would like to answer, since it's addressed and he's asking me a question. To a very major extent, this question is valid. He says that why it's the government's job to ensure money is clean and known and of known source. You see, Sandeep, while we all say that government should be vigilant, government should find out. You see, taking money, when a political party takes money, it is not that a political party does not know where the money is coming from. It is not that one fine day it just drops into its bank. The electoral bond is given to a political party. Political party is well aware as to where the money is coming from. Now, I will remain a good boy if there is no police Otherwise, I will rob, because it is end of the day not my job, but the police's job to ensure that I don't rob, is not a logical statement. So it's a political party's moral obligation to ensure that monies are taken. They need money to run the political party. They need donations to run the political party. Nobody objects to that. Nobody questions it. But the fact remains that money coming clean, from clean source, from sources where they can afford to pay you, not that my loss is 500 crores and I pay. That's if you're indulging in that, whichever party indulges, and by the looks of it, almost every second party has indulged. Like I told you, the only party who said no is the Communist Party. But then the Communist Party in India is not very relevant. So that Sandeep is unfair. Is what I would
But I'll
say.
just point out, I'll just add to you, Sujit.
Please.
Sunday is when the Election Commission sort of put out these disclosures that it had given to the Supreme Court in sealed cover. These are basically disclosures from political party. Each political party had to say who gave us money, what was the amount, etc., etc. DMK was one of the parties that put out. He said Future Gaming, which was the biggest donor by a large distance. A large chunk went to DMK. DMK put that out. Of course, the national parties, BJP, Congress. In fact, even the Trinamool Congress, which ranked second after the BJP in the list of political parties that benefited, there was one party which made a very interesting disclosure, and that is the Janata Dal United from Bihar, JDU, that is Nitish Kumar's party. In their disclosure to the Election Commission, they said that we don't know where the money came from. In fact, I will read that statement out for our viewers. This is on the JDU letterhead. They said that somebody came to our office on the 3rd of April 2019 at Patna and handed over a sealed envelope. And when it was opened, we found a bunch containing 10 electoral bonds of 1 crore each, which is essentially 10 crore rupees is what. So basically they said somebody just dropped this envelope at our office. We picked up, we found a 10 crore worth of electoral bonds. Now, interestingly, one of the reporters has just pointed out online that this money could possibly have come from Megha Engineering and Infrastructure. This is the second company, the second biggest donor of electoral bonds to political parties. And turns out JDU says we don't know where the money came from, and now it's the unique ID that has made it clear. Like I emphasized previously, JDU. Sorry, go ahead, Sujit. Go ahead.
The funny part is, you just can't, the bond, if it comes and you keep it in your pocket, that doesn't translate to money automatically. You have to go and redeem that bond. You see, so there is a process. So, to be very honest with you, with Mr. Nitish Kumar, you can expect all of this, and his party member, you can expect all of this, because see, if on a fine day you call him up in the morning and ask which party you are today, he may forget. He may have to check his diary and say, "Aaj kaun se political party ke saath hu main." So yeah, with Nitish Kumar, one can expect anything. And the fact is, I think that's one political party which had a lot of credibility at one point in time, because he was called the Sushashan Babu. I know we are digressing, Shubham, I'm sorry,
Yes,
but all the same, since you mentioned it, since once upon a time he was called Sushashan Babu, and I remember some 10 years back, 12 years back, people would look up to him because the way he transformed or tried to transform Bihar, which you can't take it away from him. But then the slide down was really, really bad. From a Sushashan Babu to whatever, Paltu, whatever is Chacha or something, whatever he's called. Paltu Ram. Yeah. So, wow. What a. So, yeah, I mean, he says, I don't know. It just happened. Somebody came and gave it to me, 10 crore, and then, it happened. It just got credited in my bank. That's okay. That I think
on a much more serious note, like I'll tell our viewers as well, this is what we're saying. We're not making this up. This is exactly what JD had said. But on another serious note, we will also be carefully looking at how much the BJP got, from which companies did the BJP get their money. Was there any quid pro quo actually followed? So days before you have an ED raid, a company is raided by ED, or whatever, like has been proven once the earlier data was out, that these companies bought these electoral bonds some days after they were raided by the ED. Now, there are several angles to probe into as to how. So if a company bought 200 crores, for example, worth of electoral bonds, did they get a project after that? Did they get another infrastructure project? Or did their investigative cases suddenly just go out of the news cycle? We'll be tracking all of this for you here on HW News English. We'll be getting some credible voices. Of course, Sujit will be there dissecting this data threadbare on editorial, and we'll also try and get you voices of experts who have been working on this issue for many years together. So we'll wind it up at that. If you're just joining us, one final recap for you. Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal has been arrested by the Enforcement Directorate. This is in an alleged money laundering case regarding the Delhi excise policy. The ED team reached his residence in the national capital a couple of hours back. There's Carter on the road, senior leaders of the Aam Aadmi Party saying that phones were seized. There's no way in which we could sort of communicate with either Kejriwal or any of his family members. All devices were seized. The ED team reached there reportedly with an arrest warrant. And now, after 2 hours of questioning, the Delhi Chief Minister has been arrested by the ED. Tonight, there'll not be any relief because the Supreme Court has declined to hear the matter tonight. It said that we look at it possibly tomorrow. So we'll keep track of that on the political front. Remember, we are just days away from a national election. And the other development, which came just minutes before the ED team sort of reached Kejriwal's residence and the entire political drama unfolded in the national capital, is the electoral bonds. The Election Commission put out the detailed data with the unique ID code, which basically now officially links the buyer of these electoral bonds, company, individuals, entities, whoever they are, with the political parties that have encashed these bonds. We will in fact leave a link of those PDF files in the description for you so that you can glance through it yourself. And on that note, thank you so much, Sujit, for taking our time. I know it's been a long day for us. We'll end it at that. Of course, we'll keep tracking the news, not to forget that. For our viewers, in fact, it's 10:01 p.m. right now. Editorial is live on our channel. We have an interesting editorial that's up on the channel. This is from the Supreme Court and what it said about the Tamil Nadu governor.
Yes. So please join us in it, for the editorial. For all of you all. Yeah.
Do tune in.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Sujit. Thanks to all our viewers. Subscribe for our viewers. Please subscribe to HW News English. It helps us grow. Share these videos. Share these live streams. We'll be bringing you a lot of this going forward. So yes, stay tuned to HW News English. Thank you, Sujit. Thank you to all our viewers.